I'm sure you've heard this all the time, but tension is the enemy of creativity when it comes to playing music. But with drums, especially more so than any other instrument, so much of what we do is physical. Yes, we want to stay as relaxed as possible to be able to flow on the drums and think clearly and have everything feel good when you're playing. But if you essentially have no tension in your playing, you're not even going to be able to hold on to the drumstick. So the question really is, what is the minimal amount of tension required to execute whatever you're trying to play on the drum set? We want to remain as relaxed as possible, and this video is really kind of a testament to things that I'm personally struggling with as well as working on currently. This is definitely a hot issue in the drumming community of just staying relaxed and how to develop the sense of relaxation on the drum set, despite playing things that can feel very physically challenging. I know for myself personally, there's really two things that cause me to tense up when I'm playing. One of those things is if I just don't necessarily have the chops to play what I'm hearing in my head. And at this point in my drumming career, I don't run into that issue quite as much. The second issue that really causes me to tense up is if all four of my limbs and my body hasn't really discovered the pathway of coordination to play that thing cleanly. And that's what I've been running into lately. I have this upcoming gig with a big band that is playing a lot of really fast swing and really fast Latin charts. And at our most recent rehearsal, even though my tempos were fine and I was surviving, I felt really restricted in terms of my creativity because physically I kind of felt like I was holding on for dear life. I wasn't able to interact with the soloist as much. I didn't feel super comfortable setting up the band on a lot of these hits at the super fast tempos. And that's not because I don't have the chops to play at that speed, it's because I don't have the comfortable coordination to be able to play these setups and fills at a super fast tempo. And I tell you what, after that 2-hour-long rehearsal, the next day my hands were definitely fatigued. And it is because I was playing everything with way more tension than necessary because I was not as comfortable with the coordination. So today's video is just going to be totally an honest kind of practice video of showing you all how I go through practicing relaxation and practicing working through something that's tricky coordination-wise for me on the drums. You're going to see me mess up a lot, and then I'm going to kind of talk through what I'm thinking and how I'm approaching of trying to break this stuff down, with the goal always being I'm trying to stay as relaxed as possible with the stuff that I play. So the first thing I was struggling with is there's a lot of hits in one of the charts we're playing. It's an arrangement of Take the A Train done in a really fast samba feel. And there's a lot of big band punches that come in on beat 2. So if we're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, the band plays a hit on beat 2. And I want to play a setup, a short little fill that sets up that hit and be able to smoothly get back into my samba groove. And what has been happening typically when I try to play this up tempo and play too complex of a fill, you can hear the coordination falls apart a little bit. So what's happening there is my limbs don't quite know yet what it's supposed to feel like to come out of that fill and that hit and get back into the samba pattern. And my brain does not feel relaxed at all. My body doesn't feel super relaxed, despite if I'm just playing the groove at a super fast tempo. things feel nice and easy. It's when I start adding these other layers that things start getting challenging. So what I'm gonna do is just isolate trying to play this hit on beat 2 and go much, much slower and try to discover what are each of my limbs supposed to do within this pattern to be able to help me get back into the groove. So after playing that setup and fill, I noticed that both of my feet can land on beat 4 to help sync up my pattern again. And that little turnaround kind of helps smooth out the coordination getting back into the groove. I'm going to keep doing this and slowly start to increase my speed. This is a direct part of this song that I was struggling with in last rehearsal. Right there, you heard my right hand accidentally switch to a different ostinato. My coordination got thrown off. I'm also finding as I do this more and more on some of the trickier transitions, instead of keeping 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and in my right hand, I can just simplify it to 8th notes. That also gives my brain a chance to catch up with what's coming up next. I'm going to start to slowly speed this up. So I can definitely feel my body starting to relax the more and more that I do this, and I'm not having to think as hard about that setup. Now the next section I was really getting tripped up on involves more left hand hits where the band is playing full figures, and then again I have to play a setup to beat 2. So the band is playing this rhythm, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I need to catch those figures with my left hand and set up beat 2 while keeping this groove. That actually felt already way more comfortable than it did yesterday, and it's because I already broke down how it feels to set up beat 2. So now I can start increasing the speed on this section. That's feeling pretty good. The other thing I've been struggling with is playing some of these more complex solo ideas in the midst of a fast songo groove. So I have like a big extended drum solo on this song called Yes or No, and some of the ideas I'm trying to execute I can't quite play at the tempo that the song goes. And when I get into my solo, one of the licks I really want to be able to play involves kind of this 6-stroke roll into singles run down the drums. And you can see as I'm going fast there, one of the problems I'm noticing is my left hand is not getting over to the snare drum soon enough, and it's also not being very accurate of hitting that rack tom on the way down. So I need to go slower and try to stay as relaxed as possible and loop it a bunch. You can hear as I go faster, I'm still struggling with my accuracy of my left hand on this rack tom here. Another lick that I want to get more comfortable up to tempo is this constant right, left, left in 16th notes superimposed over the left foot, keeping quarter notes the whole time. And occasionally my bass drum is not perfectly synced up in relationship to how my left foot is currently going. So again, I'm going to go slower and feel that relationship between my 2 feet. That's starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. I can slowly start to increase the speed. And a final lick that I'm working on to put into my solo is this grouping of 5, right, left, left. So in my years of drumming, I really know that the majority of my problems personally boils down to my feet coordination. So that's something I'm working on individually just to make sure I'm staying relaxed with that and focusing on how my feet are supposed to line up. I hope this video gives a little bit of insight on how you can practice relaxation on the drums and the smart way to go about practicing anything that's challenging for you currently on the drum set. Take things slow and don't worry if you're not getting it right away. These things take time and patience. If you appreciate the content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.